Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, cats and kittens, dogs and fucking puppies, and all the wrestling fans out there who enjoyed two big, monstrous events. And even though some parts of the country are actually opening up, we notice it might have been too fucking soon because everyone's fucking not wearing a goddamn mask and they're fucking getting people fucking sick. WWE in particular, I'm talking about in Florida. But since we're on the subject of that, and since we're on a gloriousness of actually opening up this episode up, nonetheless, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Enthusiast Real Talk. I'm Eric Peralta, otherwise known as the Wrestling Enthusiast. Today we'll talk about wrestling news, and of course, the status of certain wrestlers. And then we're going to take a look at WWE NXT Great American Bash and, of course, Aew Fyter Fest. I know last week I said I was going to just review Fyter Fest. However, I have changed my direction. I'm going to review Aew Fyter Fest, also NXT Great American Bash. I think both of them did a superb job of actually producing hell of a shows. Both of them. Kudos to them. I give them credit. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about some wrestling news of what's going on, what the rest of this shit's been going on in the world of professional wrestling. We're going to take a look at some numbers here. We're going to take a look at the ratings and see who did good. So according to this report here, and all these news reports are presented by eWrestling.com and also NoDQ.com, your number one source for wrestling news. So this week's episode of WWE NXT Great American Bash drew 792,000 viewers on the USA Network, which is up from the previous week's show that did 786,000 viewers. They drew about a 0.22 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, which is up from the previous 0.19. AEW Dynamite on TNT pulled 748,000 viewers, in which is up from last week, which they did an abysmal 633,000, which in my opinion was the lowest rated Dynamite episode they ever had. They drew a 0.29 in rating with the 18 to 49 demographic, which is up from the previous 0.22. So that's actually a key demographic. Even though NXT won, they won again this week. However, in the demographic, AEW actually won. I am going to give credit to both, really. I will give NXT. They got the viewership, so congratulations to them. AEW gets the benefit of the doubt regarding the 18 to 49 demographic, so that's good for them. I like the fact that both wrestling shows had an upgrade of viewership in the past week, since last week was terrible. It was bad numbers all around. But both of them did great. And they actually did a tremendous job. So kudos for them, both AEW and WWE NXT. Moving on to the next story here. There's a report going on that that Evolve has been have been having some financial issues as of late, and we're looking to sell their assets to WWE. And according to a report from PW Insider, WWE has officially acquired ownership of Evolve Wrestling. WWE reportedly closed the deal to purchase Evolve after several months of negotiations. We reported last month that Gabe Sapolsky, who owned Evolve Wrestling, and then told the Evolve roster that there were no plans for the company to run shows going forward. So according to PWI's report, the discussion started after the COVID-19 pandemic that caused WrestleMania weekend to be shut down. The shutdown was said to have been a massive financial blow for the company and other independent promotions who rely on WrestleMania weekend to help them stay in business. When the pandemic forced everyone to shut down, many of those promotions suffered big losses. Evolve was forced to refund tickets and pay talents who were contracted with them. When they realized there was no possible way to get out of their financial hole, They went into discussions with WWE, and the deal will result in WWE acquiring the promotion as well as Evolve's tape library, and WWE will also own all of Dragon Gate USA's tape library. And I watched one pay-per-view of Dragon Gate USA, and it was great, fantastic. I saw BB Hulk, and I think I saw Ricochet in one of those shows. I also saw Eddie Kingston perform there. There was a rumor that full Impact Pro content was also going to be around, but that has not been confirmed yet. According to this report, WWE is acquiring the new LLC that Evolved Wrestling created when they signed a deal together. They are not acquiring the WWN Live as a whole, the World Wrestling Network Live. Sal Hamaoui will now be focusing on the remaining portions under the company umbrella, like Full Impact Pro, Shine Wrestling, and ACW. With the sale, Gabe Sapolsky and Sal Hamaoui will be ending their professional relationship. It is said to have been an amicable parting. Sapolsky is sticking with Evolve Wrestling and will not be involved with the World Wrestling Network live promotions. The belief is that several contracted Evolve talent will be signed to WWE and enter the NXT developmental system. While no names have been confirmed, there are said to be at least 4 names who are being considered. It should be noted that there was at least one other party interested in buying Evolve, but Evolve's contractual agreement with WWE gave them the first rights to buy the company. So another wrestling promotion has died down. It's not cool. We lost Chikara. We lost Bar Wrestling, but that's obviously because Joey Ryan's a fucking predator. And now we seem to have lost Evolve Wrestling. And it's really, really sad to see these things go. The only thing that's going to give me some sort of comfort in knowing is that Evolve will continue to live on, possibly through the WWE Network. So that's going to be something worthwhile to keep an eye on. So I like to see if what direction they're gonna be going on to this. So hopefully they will do some good things from there on out. An update on Renee Young. Once she revealed last week that she tested positive for COVID-19. She was just one of several WWE employees, including Adam Pearce, Jamie Noble, and Kayla Braxton. Dave Meltzer reported on the latest edition of Wrestling Observer newsletter that Young is doing much better now, and although she still felt funny and her chest felt heavy as of the middle of this week, as noted, AEW champ Jon Moxley elected to miss Fyter Fest tapings because of this in order to avoid the risk of exposing AEW to the virus. So that's a precautionary measure there. We will discuss about that. There will be an announcement that Jon Moxley will battle Brian Cage for the AEW title, not at Fyter Fest Night 2, however, the very next week, which is July 15th, and it'll be AEW Fyter Fest. So that's going to be very interesting to see what goes on from there. A couple more notes here. Bully Ray no longer under contract with Ring of Honor. Bully Ray's contract with Ring of Honor has expired, and they have yet to offer him a new one. Dave Meltzer reports from WrestlingObserver.com. It should be noted that they are not offering new deals to anyone right now due to the ongoing pandemic. Some expect that when the company is up and running again, Ring of Honor will bring him back. He was formerly the booker in Ring of Honor, and he was actually one in charge of the promotion and booking, and this has been going on for last week until Marty Scurll, who had was the previous booker earlier this year, and started booking up matches for Ring of Honor and Ring of Honor Television, and was going to book up the Supercard pay-per-view that was supposed to happen back in March. However, it was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic that we're currently still in right now, and that's so far the current situation. So right now it's kind of a bit of a clusterfuck. One final note there's a report earlier this week that Kairi Sane from the WWE has had a pretty complicated status with the WWE. She's been on the sidelines after her head injury back in May when she suffered a huge gash after being thrown into the steel steps by Nia Jax. Per the report, there were plans in May for Kairi Sane to go to Japan and work as an ambassador for WWE over there. There was no word on how that would have impacted her career inside the ring. In an update, Dave Meltzer has reported that Kairi Sane is returning to Japan soon. But before she does, she's slated to return to Raw, and she is listed for the tapings being held today at the WWE Performance Center. WWE has known about Sane returning to Japan since May. The idea before that last Kairi Sane versus Nia Jax match, which is where Sane got thrown headfirst into the steel steps, was to do a career-ending injury angle with Kairi at the later time before it was time for her to return to Japan. That angle would have set up a SummerSlam match between Raw Women's Champion Asuka and whoever they went with to put Sane out of action. Original plans did not call for Jax to be the one who ended Sane's WWE in-ring career. Zerber reports that there had been talk that once her contract was up, which was soon, she would wrestle for one more year in Japan and then end up retiring from wrestling for professional wrestling. Sane signed a 3-year WWE deal back in March of 2017. That's tough because she had a lot of talent, and I think she would have been at least a one-time WWE champion. It might have been a short reign, but I can't really say she has not accomplished a lot. She definitely has. She has been an NXT Women's Champion. She has became a women's tag team champion. So that, in truth, she has kind of a bit of success in the WWE. So her going to Japan, and of course now she's wrestling on borrowed time now due to the concussions and the head injuries. That's a shame. You know, this wrestling business could be rough, but I think what happens is, I think it's a bit of misfortune that happens sometimes when you're a professional wrestler. You're going to endure some tough things out there, and you're going to definitely suffer some injuries. You're going to live through chronic pains. You're going to be having some sort of ordeal sometimes. But nonetheless, you know, you just show how tough you actually are. And, you know, it's really rough. I think, in my opinion, Kairi Sane has one of the best flying elbows I ever seen any woman do. When she goes up that top turnbuckle and then she lands an insane elbow, she does it so gracefully and she does it so incredibly well done. I think that's one of the best flying elbows I ever seen anyone do in the women's division. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing I can say is thank you, Kairi. I appreciate your input in WWE, and now you have attained a huge reputation once you go back to Japan, and I know when she goes back to Japan, she's going to be given a hero's welcome. That also means that she could be a free fucking agent, so I'm pretty sure she'll probably wrestle for Stardom for 1 or 2 years, and then that's it. And there's going to be independent wrestling promotions out there that are going to want to hire her. It's going to be a hefty price tag to achieve that accommodation for her. So it's going to be tough, but you know, well, hats off to you. Hats off to you, Kairi. Now, with that being said, there were certain things about her that was botched, and I'm starting to see it with some of the talent. I see that with Cedric Alexander. I see that with Ricochet. I see that with Humberto Carrillo. And here's what I'm hoping I don't see that at. I hope they don't do that with Keith Lee. I hope they don't do that with Adam Cole. I hope they don't do that with Velveteen Dream, although I don't know, his status is questionable, and I think his days is numbered. So forget about him. He's talented, but forget about him. And I hope they don't, and in the women's side, I hope they don't do that to Io Shirai. I hope they don't do that to Mia Yim. I hope they don't do that to Shotzi Blackheart. And I hope they don't do that to Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. If I were they, I stay in the NXT division. Okay, and here's the thing that fucking... And then let me go on the SmackDown side for just a brief second. Chad Gable, Drew Gulak, Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak and Daniel Bryan, they gave one of the best wrestling matches I've seen as far as technicality wrestling is concerned. Back in Elimination Chamber back in March 8th of this year, the final WWE pay-per-view before the pandemic struck. Well, here's a fucking thing that jabs my ass so fucking much. These fucking ass clown bookers. And yes, I'm gonna talk to you guys for a fucking second. I'm pointing the fucking finger at you, motherfuckers. You guys don't know good talent when you fucking see them. You guys like to piss away and bitch and moan about every little fucking thing that fucking happens because you have some people that nepotism their way into the fucking ring and get themselves a main event title shot. Do you expect me to believe that this is going to be good? What do you think fucking your ratings have gone into shit, or you fucking cockknocker? So stupid. So stupid. People recognize talent when they see them. They're going to be talent and they're going to be popular on their own. Trust me. You're going to get them off to somewhere. But if you alienate your talent to do something else, and in favor for these people that have sucked your dick for so fucking long, proverbially and metaphorically, do you think for one fucking second that I'm going to respect you? Fuck you. That goes to you, Vince. That goes to you, Kevin Dunn. And that goes for you, too. I don't know if Bruce Pritchard has something to do with it, but I know his fucking honky-dory type of idealistic ideas coming up from these fucking booking bullshits. Granted, SmackDown was actually not bad last week, and Raw this week sucked, but the week before was actually pretty decent. It was actually pretty good. You guys got to keep the momentum going and got to keep the wheel turning. And you got to book these guys, these super extra talented professional wrestlers who have went to the extreme into performing the most athletics, the most world-class professional wrestling I've ever seen in my lifetime, because this is the most talented roster I have ever seen the WWE have, and they don't take advantage of it. Oh, let's give the title to some lazy fuck, and that fucking only wrestles 4 or 5 times a fucking year, even though we pay him $7 million a year for it. Fuck Blockhead. And I'm talking to Brock Lesnar. Fuck Blockhead. Yes, he's talented. He could wrestle. Yes. He could put on good matches. Yes. But he's a lazy son of a bitch. And for you to kiss his ass makes me fucking sick to my stomach. And here, let me tell you this. 9 years after the pipe bomb has struck, with CM Punk talking shit about Vince McMahon, maybe the company will be better off if Vince McMahon is dead. But in truth, it's probably going to be panned down to his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law and the rest of his stupid family. Maybe he had a fucking point. Fuck y'all. Suck my fucking dick. And let me tell you something. I've seen New Japan Pro Wrestling before. And let me tell you, that one match that he had, Ricochet had with Zack Sabre Jr., or I could be wrong, could be William Ospreay. Forgive me if I forget, but that was an 11 out of 10 match and it broke the fucking scale. If you want my honest opinion about that shit, that match broke the fucking scale. Why do you think John... You know, and to come to think about it, for them to pull off such epic world-class caliber matches, because in Japan, why do you think they feel fucking alienated when they work for WWE? You think Shinsuke Nakamura fucking feels alienated right now signing a fucking contract? The only good thing I could say is he's been used with Cesaro to be in the tag team, get a tag team title shot in SmackDown against a New Day. Do you honestly think that I'm going to fucking sit down and say, oh, it's just part of the politics. That's all it is. Fuck you guys. Suck my fucking dick. Kiss my fucking fat ass. Fuck you, Vince. Fuck you too, Kevin Dunn, you buck-toothed motherfucker. Someone ought to punch you in the fucking mouth and break both of your fucking sharp, fuck your Bucky Beaver teeth, you fucking cocksucking motherfucker. Well, I'm going to continue more about ranting because I have a lot of shit to rant about. But let me just be firsthand and let me just review some of these shows. By the way, why do you think we're never going to see Johnny Gargano fight against Adam Cole again in the main roster? It's never going to fucking happen. Now that I talk shit about the bad side of the WWE, let's talk about the good side. Let's talk about the good side of the WWE. That is WWE NXT Great American Bash. The 2-night spectacular. We're going to review night number 1. I liked the show. I loved it. It was great. I like what they did in the setup. They got red, white, and blue ropes, just like the old school way back in the early 90s. They even had a 62 Corvette convertible. And then they had a Dodge Viper that was on the side. That was a pretty nice little setup there for a Great American Bash. So it was a nice little stage setup. I like that. Okay. So the first match that I'm going to review is the NXT Women's Championship #1 contender. It's an elimination match between Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, and Tegan Nox. You know, I have to say, I like this match. This was a great way to start the show. All 4 of them had their purpose in this match. It was definitely superb. It was really fun to watch. I just have a bit of objections to begin with. I feel that Candice LeRae didn't have enough time in this matchup. She only lasted about 4 minutes. But I think I could see why they went that direction. She is the toxic one in the match because she was the one that was being the most bitchy about in the competition. Candice LeRae and Dakota Kai were being the 2 heels, Mia Yim and Tegan Nox being the faces. I liked how Candice started fighting with Mia Yim. I liked the way she started fighting against Tegan started fighting against Dakota Kai, and because that rivalry has been happening since last November, since War Games, and that's been going on for a long fucking time. Candice was the one getting going. She was basically starting the match up right. She had a dive cut off by Mia's drop kick and shit, and then that's what happened. Candice still gets going with a springboard crossbody on Tegan Nox right on the outside. She gets a 2 count on a German suplex, and then Mia went off the top rope. Tegan then boots Dakota, and then Candice hits a corner uppercut, which Dakota ended up following with a boot. Mia then boots her. Mia and Tegan ended up double front suplex on Dakota and then onto Candice. And then Mia ended up eliminating Candice. She gave her the protect your neck. And within 4 minutes, she was already gone. Then we hit a commercial with picture in picture. I'm going to say this right now. I like the idea that they do picture in picture, but it's really hard to pay attention to the match when the commercials are in a big fucking part of the screen. While the match is being displayed at only 20 or 25% of a quarter of the screen, you're paying attention to the other 75%. But my mind, knowing my ADHD mindset that I have going on, it's, like I said, that's why I have a fucking study sometimes. It's kind of very difficult to pay attention, but I did my absolute best. And I did my absolute best to see what was going on. I like the way Tegan Nox carried this fucking match. I mean, she looked really good, and there was this one moment that she was heading off the top rope, and then Dakota got hit with a code blue. Then Tegan ended up falling on the outside, and she ate soul food from Mia Yim. But then Dakota Kai ended up sneaking up, and then used an O'Connor roll, which is like a inside cradle-like maneuver, and she rolled up to eliminate Mia Yim. So Mia Yim did not look weak. She looked good, but she did not look weak because she got rolled up and she got surprised. That was a good call. Whoever booked that decision, which is in Triple H's staff, not Vince's, but Triple H's staff, actually, that was a very good call for Mia Yim to not look weak. She looked very good. And and once she got pinned, she was surprised. She was like, what the hell? So basically, that's what happened. So we were down to 2. It was Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai. Who would have thought that 8-9 months of rivalry would actually get to this point? So what happens is, a little bit at the end of the match, I think Dakota Kai tried to cut her off and hit a chiropractor for a 2 count, gets near fall. There was good amounts of near fall in this match. Dakota Kai started beating the shit out of Tegan, and Tegan had a sit out front suplex. She got a near fall. Dakota Kai avoided the Shining Wizard. Dakota then tried to use the crucifix on her, but got a 2 count. Crucifix pin. She turned it into a Koji clutch. Then Tegan is trapped on the corner. She turns into a pinning combination, but only got a near fall. She broke the hold. Another headbutt and a Molly go round, and then the Shiniest Wizard, and boom! To my surprise, and yes, I am going to say this because I thought Dakota Kai was going to be the surefire winner in this. So Tegan Nox wins this match. And it was a fun match. There was a lot of movement by all 4 women. Everything made sense. Candice LeRae got pinned very early. She looked like she was a stubborn bitch. And I mean that with all respect. Not in disrespect. I like Candice LeRae. As a matter of fact, I seen her right up front. As a matter of fact, when I went to NXT Riverside, an NXT live event, her family was actually sitting right in front of me. They seem like nice folks. They seem like nice people. So yeah, I mean, I didn't say hi to them, but I saw them. They were just literally like 2 rows in front of me. So I was at ringside seats. So it was cool. It was cool. She was the first one eliminated. Mia Yim was the second one eliminated, but she did not look weak. It was just by chance. And then Tegan Nox ended up capitalizing on the opportunity. So I actually enjoyed this match. It was an 8 out of 10. Great job by all 4 women. Tegan Nox, wow. I mean, she just keeps getting better and fucking better inside the ring. And she just looks... And I think this is her best performance to date, in my opinion. This is her best match, in my opinion. Damian Priest gets interviewed, and he's going to cut a fucking promo. Cuts promo on Cameron Grimes. Tries to get his attention. Challenges him to a one-on-one with no tricks or games. So, okay. Bayley hypes Sasha Banks. Beth Phoenix announces that the main event will be shown in its entirety commercial-free. Well, there's some kudos right there. Anyway, next matchup, we got Oney Lorcan against Timothy Thatcher. Timothy Thatcher is a master grappler. He's a phenomenal wrestler. And this match started with some grappling. And Lorcan had the upper hand, and even to go with a couple of strikes, there was some knife-edge chops. This looked like a wrestling match. It was like mostly mat wrestling and more like a grapple staple hold. It was enjoyable. There wasn't too much to comply here. I liked Oney Lorcan, one half of the Brit Am connection. When he tag teams with Danny Burch, I think those are 2 quick, quick, brute wrestlers. Midway towards the match, once Orny Lorcan and Timothy Thatcher, once they started grappling, Orny took a belly-to-belly suplex. That was nice looking. Came back with a half-and-half plex for a 2 count, and they started hitting each other out, and then started slapping with chops. Orny Lorcan slapped Timothy Thatcher to the ground, and then applied a half crab. Timothy finds a way to turn it into a sick-looking knee bar, which looked awesome. He wanted the arm bar, but then Orny Lorcan slips, and then he ended up chopping him right in the chest. Once Orny started kicking out of another suplex, he puts in another hold, and then Orny's tried to fish hooks him. However, Thatcher used that to take the hand of the Fujiwara arm bar for the submission, and Orny Lorcan tapped out. So Timothy Thatcher won this match. It was a bit slow, but it picked up down the stretch. And once I saw that, I started noticing that it started to pick up once midway towards the match. So it was a good 12-minute match. 12, 13 minutes, maybe around there? I think somewhere around there. So they looked good. And Timothy Thatcher was victorious in this one. Thatcher kind of refused to break the hold, and then he watches it back further, and then the referee started 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he lets go. So then after that match was over, we get a Karrion Kross vignette and a video package of him talking about status quo's time is up, the end is near. TikTok. Nice little presentation there of Karrion Kross, because he looks fabulous. He looks unbelievable. Next match, Aaliyah and Robert Stone versus Rhea Ripley. So if Ripley were to lose this match, she must join the Robert Stone brand. Robert Stone is dressed up like a fucking boxer. This looks like, I don't know, but it reminds me of some Mark Merrow and Sable bullshit. That's what this reminds me of. I'm going to go ahead and hands on record and say this. This was the worst Rhea Ripley match I've seen. And I have no disrespect towards Rhea Ripley. But this has nothing to do with there. This is based on how she was booked. There's not really much to say about this match. He has goggles on, and then he has a mouthpiece. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This went on for too fucking long. It was dumb. It was stupid. And it was just a fucking stupid match. Let me just go into detail a little bit. Let me just get my notes. Okay, hold on. Let me see. So Rhea is basically powerful in this matchup, stopping her next bit of offense and then hoisting Aaliyah up, and then gave her an electric chair drop. And then Stone broke up the pin, but misses the plancha. Aaliyah hits the tope, which was nice. Don't get me wrong. When she hit the tope, and she's in a face smash by the hair. We go to commercial break, and then Robert Stone and Aaliyah have Rhea trapped with a Boston Crab and a crossface. So then they both try to pin her, and they argued about a fucking pin. So then Rhea ended up countering and then double suplexing attempt. Rhea rallies and sends Aaliyah into Robert Stone. So when she kicked Aaliyah out and launched her face first into Stone's ball sack, I meant figuratively, she low blowed him. Let me just say it like that. But that was totally accidental. Rhea blocks Stone's roll-up attempt and then headbutts him. Then Rhea puts both of them in a prism trap simultaneously, and then they both tapped out at the same time. This match should have not been that long. I'm sorry, but this match was the shits, and it was not good. Let me describe it to you in a better sense. Okay, there's good and then there's not good. Because here, anytime I rate a match that's a 10 out of 10, that's a masterpiece. 9.5, extraordinary. 9 is an incredible matchup. 8.5 is a very great matchup. 8 is great. 7.5 is very good. 7 is good. 6.5 is okay. 6 is solid. 5.5 is above average. 5 is meh. 4.5 is below average, and 4 is bad. Is not good. 3.5 is bad. 3 is very bad. 2.5 is extremely bad. 2 is terrible. 1.5 is very terrible. And anything below 1.1 or less is an abortion. And a clusterfuck. Sometimes when I say clusterfuck, it could be a good thing. Now, what I mean by clusterfuck as far as action-wise, it could mean several different things. It could mean either it's a fucking fun factor that has a lot of crazy shit going on with a lot of crazy spots, or it's a clusterfuck to say that it was fucking bunch of buffalo diarrhea. This match was a 4 out of 10. Not good. Not good. This was Rhea Ripley's worst match. And I like Rhea Ripley. She's done a fantastic job. She had an incredible WrestleMania match with Charlotte Flair, which in night number 2 of that show was match of the night. If you erased the Otis versus Dolph Ziggler shit, and then you get rid of the Firefly Funhouse clusterfuck, and then the Brock Lesnar Drew McIntyre abortion, then you got such fantastic shit. Oh, and not to mention, did I mention that the Edge Randy Orton Last Man Standing match was just meh? That was the star of COVID mania. So I didn't like it. Not every match is going to be perfect. Some matches are going to be shit. It's going to be worse than chicken menstruation. So, it's not going to be the talent's fault. Whoever booked this shit and thought it was good is the one to blame. I don't know why this match was created to begin with, but I had a pretty good chance that this was Vince's idea. Now, I say Triple H books these shows, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Vince McMahon doesn't have a say-so. After all, this is his fucking company. Because the fucking twat will say, "Oh, well, what are you doing with Rhea Ripley? Actually, I'm going to book her with Aaliyah. Make it Aaliyah and Robert Stone. Make it a 2-on-1 handicap match, pal. And if you make it, if Rhea Ripley loses, she has to join Robert Stone's company." Who thought that? Why would you think of that? This was sports entertainment. This was not wrestling. Sports entertainment. There's a difference between that and professional wrestling. Professional wrestling has wrestling matches that have talent, skill, storytelling, crowd enthusiasm, although everyone's handicapped because of the pandemic going on. But there's purpose. This match had no purpose. So 4 out of 10 for Rhea Ripley and against Aaliyah and Robert Stone. That was just... What were they thinking? Anyway. Next on the list. We have a strap match. And when I say strap match, don't here insert stupid porno joke right here. Strap match. But no, in all sincerity, we have a strap match between Dexter Lumis and Roderick Strong. This, I don't think Roderick Strong has good luck in these type of matches. I just don't think it's really that. I just don't see him being in these type of matches, especially with Dexter Lumis. I gotta give credit. That's a good gimmick that Dexter Lumis is doing. It's like a hybrid Undertaker. It's like an Undertaker gimmick with the Stranger Things type of theme. I mean, if you listen to his fucking entrance music, it's a trip. You know what I mean? It's like a acid trip of Stranger Things. It just the sounds is just giveaway. But anyway, matchup wise, is this good? This got to be at least better than the Rhea Ripley match that we just seen. So, looking at it in depth, they start fighting. They got the straps applied. Roderick Strong tried to jump Dexter Lumis before they started applying the strap onto their arms, but it backfired big time, and he ended up getting his ass whooped. Lumis started to put the strap on him, try to use it, and then try to give an uppercut, and then pulls Roddy into the apron a couple of times. Once they started fighting back, they started hitting each other. Then they put the strap on each other's wrists. They were clinging on to each other, and then they started fighting back. Strong got caught in an odd spot in the corner and then eats a huge shot right in the face. And then they go outside and they started fighting off each other outside the ring. And then Lumis launched Strong off the steps. And then they reached the stage area. Lumis then opened the trunk of the Dodge Viper that was set up near the entrance ramp. So he opens the trunk of the Dodge Viper, and then Roderick Strong was going to get put in there, I think. I'm not too sure. He opened the trunk of the car by the stage. Then Roderick Strong ended up panicking. So then he pulls him into the stage and then stops him. And then they get back, and then they start fighting each other out in the ring entrance. They go back into the ring. And then Strong ended up whipping him a whole bunch of fucking times with the strap. He said that Lumis embarrassed him, and then the crowd started chanting Dexter likes it. Dexter likes it. Clap, 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 clap. Okay, I'm confused. This confused the fuck out of me. Now, if you were a wrestling fan in that crowd, would you chant Dexter likes it when he gets whooped with a leather strap on his back? Dexter, that's weird. That's just some weird rhetoric. But anyway, enough. So Strong uses the straps and try to get a Boston Crab variation going on. Lumis then tried to slither to the outside. Here comes Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish tries to help out Roderick Strong, but then Lumis still survived with a sick kick. Then Fish gets clotheslined by the strap, knocked off the apron. Lumis then wraps Roderick Strong up in the strap and then hits a urinage into the silent submission, and then Roderick taps out. This was another match that started slow. It got better late and then had moments, made sense, followed up with what was going on, and it was meh to me. Well, no, not meh, but it was above average. I thought this shit could have gone better. And I don't know why the idea of a strap match, but I mean, I've seen more brutal strap matches before. I've seen dog collar matches. I've seen I quit matches that could be far more enthusiastic and far more emphasized than this shit. But that's just me. So, a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, it was average. Right around above average. Right around the meh area. But whatever. I think this was Roderick Strong's weakest match. And like I said, when I say that, oh, this was Rhea Ripley's weakest match and Roderick Strong weakest match. Once again, I'm not disleveling any other talent. They're superb. Roderick Strong has a background in MMA training. He has a background there. So this guy's a fighter. So he knows how this shit goes along. But you see, like I said, that depends on who books these type of matches. Not everything in NXT is gonna be a fucking masterpiece. It's gonna be some hiccups, and this was a hiccup. Rhea Ripley's was a severe hiccup. It felt like a burp. There you go. That's what it felt like. But Dexter Lumis versus Roderick Strong was a 5.5. It was a strap match that I think it would have been so much better if it was just no DQ. No DQ, no count out. Turn it into a brawl or something. It looks like Dexter Lumis is a very good brawler. But that's just my opinion. We get a video package hyping up Keith Lee versus Adam Cole, which I'm pretty sure you know by now has already been spoiled by some disgruntled WWE employee who was fucking think it was cute to post it on his fucking Instagram. And you know someone's gonna snapshot that shit sooner or later to get some press. Well, goodbye, motherfucker. Nice knowing you. Unless he was trying to deliberately get himself fired. Which should seem like in this case. So, Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano complaining backstage when they were about to get interviewed. Then all of a sudden, Candice LeRae ran out of the camera range, and then Johnny Gargano, and there's all kinds of noise. Johnny Gargano runs around. Candice and Mia Yim started fighting backstage, and then Isaiah Swerve Scott was trying to separate them. Johnny Gargano pushes Isaiah Swerve Scott, and they get into each other's faces, and then they have to be pulled apart. So that was an interesting segue into what's going to happen in night number 2, I think. Could we see an Isaiah Swerve Scott against Johnny Gargano matchup? Because I would love to see that. And they already announced that Mia Yim and Candice LeRae at night number 2 of Great American Bash, which is next week, that it's going to be a street fight. So that's going to be interesting. Now we got a promo here by the group of Legado del Fantasma, a.k.a. Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and what is it? Raul Mendoza. I kind of forget his name sometimes. So Santos Escobar cuts promo. They've been reduced to nothing more than masks and saying that their roots are going to be rediscovered by this group, and this is what's going to happen. Then here comes Drake Maverick, and they start they cut off his promo. He gets jumped 3-on-1, gets beat the shit out of by Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. And then here comes Breezango of all teams, Tyler Breeze and Fandango. So they're gonna have a challenge. They're gonna have a challenge for a 6-man tag next week with Legado del Fantasma versus Breezango and Drake Maverick. That's going to be interesting. Cameron Grimes is interviewed backstage about Priest's challenge. Grimes mocks his boss, says he doesn't live in the past. He's looking to the future. And I challenge the winner of Adam Cole and Keith Lee. You know, he fits that fucking gimmick perfectly in my sense. That southern North Kakalaki style. You know, with the I'm gonna go and beat my opponent up, and before you know it, I want a shot at him. To what? But anyway, he does the gimmick very well. But him challenging Keith Lee or Adam Cole, interesting. While that's happening, we got a Mercedes Martinez video package that she's going to appear next week. So yeah, the sixth-man tag is official. El Ledega de Fantasma against Breezango and Drake Maverick. Candice LeRae versus Mia Yim in a street fight. Adam Cole and Keith Lee for the NXT and North American Championship. Title for title match. That's all going to be next week. And yes, I will review it. So tune in next week for that. Okay, main event time. This is what we all came here for. Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks. Non-title matchup. Here comes Sasha and Bayley. And they're driven to the ring in a Jaguar F-Type convertible. It's a nice-ass car. And then Sasha's dog, Ryu. If you look at and pay attention to her Instagram, you'll notice that she has a little dog named Ryu, and this cute little thing. Bayley is carrying her, and then it goes back to the car, and and say, hey, go ahead and put Ryu back. But here she comes towards the ring, and coming in style. Here comes Io. And Io comes in, NXT Women's Champion. So, neither woman here, the way this match starts, with some even exchanges, neither woman is gaining a clear advantage until Io hits a missile dropkick. She follows with a huge tope, and then Bayley uses a car horn to distract Io, and then she ended up knocking down, and then Sasha Banks ended up knocking her down. When she went towards the Viper and started honking the horn. That's a hell of a distraction, in my opinion. She hits double knees into the corner, gets a near fall. Sasha twists at the fingers and delivers a bunch of elbows. Sasha drives Io's face into the middle turnbuckle with her legs, but then Io started fighting back and nails a super arena suplex. That gets Io going with a flapjack and a tiger feint kick. I gotta tell you, and I'm gonna go on record, Io Shirai is one of the fastest women wrestlers I've ever seen. She is super quick, she is ninja-like, lucha-like, and she's she could pull off those maneuvers, like a head scissors takedown, and she could do those topes, and she could do those missile suicide dives, and she could just straight out fucking masterfully pull them off. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I love how she does it. I like the way Sasha Banks looked in this match. And it's fucking crazy. This was a fun main event. And then I looked at it through every single minute of this match. Sasha wanted the Hiramu sunset flip bomb through the ropes. And then she gets Io, and then she slams her into the pixie glass, and then gets power bombed onto the floor, slammed onto the floor. Io then avoided a frog splash inside the ring. When she got back inside the ring, she puts a crossface type maneuver as Sasha struggles to the ropes, grabs the ropes. Here comes Bayley, tries to slide in the title so she could actually hit Io Shirai with it. The referee takes it, and then once the referee took it, Bayley slid, and then the referee took it, and then Bayley tried to get a cheap shot in, and then that breaks it. Bayley has a tug of war over the title with the referee. Sasha goes for the other title, and then she was having a tug of war with that, and all of a sudden here comes Asuka. Asuka pulled it apart. She pulls it from Sasha, and then she spewed mist right in the Sasha Banks' face. And Io rolls her up for a 2 count, which that surprised me. However, even with the missed distraction, I thought she was going to get pinned right there from the get-go. But that didn't finish her off. So what did finish her off was she knocked Sasha down, and then Io Shirai went up to the top and get her famous moonsault, and then boom. That pinned her, and she pinned Sasha Banks 1, 2, 3. A few missteps, but this match ruled. And in my opinion, this was match of the night. It was a great back and forth. The finish was creative. Had a case where interference and such actual shit that was happening inside the ring, it actually worked out well. But in my opinion, this was 8 out of 10. I love the match. Great stuff. Asuka and Io Shirai celebrate together to end the show. It was another 8 out of 10. However, I was going to say 8.5, but actually no. I will deduct a half point for the botches, but for a few missteps. But I don't care. I mean, that doesn't mean it's bad. But it's perfect. I mean, it's really good. Really good. It was great. Great match. But it was great enough to be match of the night. That's what I say. For an 8 out of 10 main event, I'm going to go on and say this was a 8, or should I say a 7.5 show. Let me recap real quick. The first match that involved the women's 4-way elimination match between Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, and Tegan Nox. That was an 8 out of 10, and I really enjoyed that one. Oni Lorcan and Timothy Thatcher. I liked that one. It was more of a 7. I liked a bit of a ground wrestling there. Timothy Thatcher looked good, and that was fantastic mat wrestling that they put together right there. It was slow at the beginning, but it picked up right away after. So you're gonna get that from time to time. Aaliyah and Robert Stone versus Rhea Ripley. Boy, that shit sucked ass. It was a 4 out of 10. I hate to fucking be repetitious, but that's the way I see it. And to think to myself that if it's going to be a good show, just think about the overall value with the main event, and then the first match, and then the second match between Oni Lorcan and Timothy Thatcher. If you look at it this way, you could say that these three brilliant matches outnumber the 2 piss poor matches, and to say that the Dexter Loomis Roderick Strong strap match was piss poor, I mean, it's not the worst. I mean, it's above average at best. But that's all I can say about that. This was the worst Rhea Ripley match I've ever seen, although there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with Roderick Strong's worst match ever. There's nothing wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with anybody involved. It was just booked badly. It wasn't going to work. So 5.5 for Dexter Loomis in that strap match. And a 4 out of 10 for Rhea Ripley against Aaliyah and Robert Stone. I knew that match was going to be stupid to begin with. But hey, at least Rhea Ripley was victorious, and she didn't job over this match, which I would find it absurd if they did that. But this was good. This was good. And Io Shirai and Sasha Banks. Perfect 8.8 out of 10. It was match of the night in my opinion, and it was worthy of the main event title. It was worthy of a main event. I loved it. The middle was shit, but the rest of it was good fun. So 7.5 out of 10 for the entire show. All right. Now that we reviewed Great American Bash, let's review the other show, AEW Fyter Fest, the one that was being counter-produced. We'll start the show in the traditional Dynamite intro, but it's night 1 of Fyter Fest. What is Fyter Fest? I don't know. Why do they spell it that way? I don't know. But anyway, actually, Fyter Fest was supposed to be was supposed to take place near a video game festival in London, but thanks to someone being irresponsible with the United States government and the Chinese government. Yes, I'll explain that afterwards. But anyway, the show starts off with Chris Jericho coming out, and he's wearing a Canadian checkered red and white shirt, and it was Canadian maple leaf on it because he was celebrating Canada Day. So, by the way, Canadian fans, happy Canada Day to you guys. I know it's probably late, but yeah, no. My best regards to all you Canadians out there. My best regards to you. We're going to have our 4th of July celebrations too, right here in America. In America. We're going to be popping all kinds of fireworks. We're going to have some barbecues, but except we're going to be doing it at home because someone forgot to put on a mask and started spreading their fucking saliva all over the fucking landscape. But now I'm getting distracted. So we start the show with that. Jericho's going to be in commentary, and boy, he sounds fucking bloody brilliant. Here comes MJF and Wardlow, and MJF gets some promo time saying he's beaten Jungle Boy over and over again, especially at Double or Nothing, giving him his best match he'll ever have in his career. He brings Jungle Boy's daddy's money. Fuck. That was brutal. That was a brutal diss. I'm like, isn't his father dead? In case you won't know who Jungle Boy's father is, it's Luke Perry. Luke Perry's son is Jungle Boy. Jim Ross calls him Jungle Boy Jack Perry. That's actually his name. But anyway, so I'm breaking kayfabe a little bit here. So here it is. 2-on-2 match. This is the first match of the night. MJF and Wardlow versus Jurassic Express. So here comes Jungle Boy and MJF. They're the ones that are going to start this matchup. First thing they do is MJF hits a fucking knee, and then Jungle Boy tries to clothesline him hard. They went onto the apron. Jungle Boy tries for a reverse hurricanrana, but Wardlow ended up grabbing him. He got a boot to the face, sent him out to the ring post, sent Jungle Boy back in the ring, and then hits a belly to belly. MJF struts like Ric Flair does when he fucking struts when he's overly excited. Wardlow chokes up Jungle Boy, tags in Wardlow, and then comes in and attacks the back in a huge suplex. So here comes another tag to MJF. He eats a buckle off the whip from Jungle Boy. So then Jungle Boy kicks in and runs for a tag. MJF ended up drop toe holding him down and get a front face lock. So to say that at least, Jungle Boy did get a lot of time in this matchup. So it was very, very interesting how much time he didn't look weak, but Luchasaurus got a little bit more time on the side than Jungle Boy did. So when he finally did come in, he looked good. I mean, Wardlow looked good here too, and MJF always looks good no matter what because the guy is just fucking bloody brilliant. He's an incredible heel. This guy could fucking maneuver all over the ring, and then this guy knows how to get heat, and he knows how to piss fucking people off, and he does it masterfully. And that's how he does it. He just knows how to get under people's skin. The wrestling fans, he knows how to piss them off. Now, I read a post somewhere that someone took a picture of him with MJF, and he asked him, hey, what, can you take a picture of me and flip me off? I was like, yeah, sure. Because I think, in my opinion, I think he's pretty cool. Like, personally, on a personal level, I think he's awesome. But when he's in that wrestling ring, he's going to say some shit that's going to piss people off. And you know what? I haven't seen anybody get motherfucker heat like that. And I meant to the point where motherfucker heat is like, to a point where, boo, I hope the face fucks you up, motherfucker, fuck you, hey, look at my dick, suck it. You know what I mean? That's how they fucking are. They get pissed. Kiss my balls, motherfucker. You know, that's some real, that's how you piss off the fans. But in a heelish way, not in an aggravating way. Because, like I say, let me just tell you this. King Corbin has motherfucker heat. But not in a performance way. He has motherfucker heat for the wrong reasons. And what I mean by that is like, boo, fuck you, get out of the fucking ring. Get the fuck out of here. You suck. You don't know how to wrestle. You can't wrestle. You don't know diddly dick. Fuck off. And that's how they are. But that's how wrestling fans are this day and age. They're just a little bit different than it was back in 1986. Okay, so this match was fantastic. The point towards the end of the match where all four were up after they all got knocked down. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, MJF, and Wardlow. All of them were down. When they were all down, Jungle Boy and MJF kick up. They all kick up. Then Luchasaurus and Wardlow do the same shit. They both kicked up. All four of them are up. Double clothesline in the middle of the ring for both Lucha and Wardlow. Both of them were on their hands and knees. Jungle Boy runs across both and then gets a Canadian Destroyer to MJF. Jungle Boy then flies off the buckle onto Wardlow. Wardlow sends MJF into Luchasaurus, and then he drops Jungle Boy and gives a big kick to the face on Jungle Boy while holding Marco Stunt, because Marco Stunt was out there at ringside. Wardlow then tosses Stunt on the Jungle Boy. So then they back in the ring. MJF rolls Lucha up for a near fall. He tagged in MJF tags in Wardlow. Wardlow goes on the top rope with a Swanton Bomb. And that still didn't do the fucking job because he kicked out. MJF sneakily put the ring on with his little AEW ring. And as Wardlow holds Luchasaurus up, MJF swings. Lucha ended up ducking and he ended up hitting Wardlow. He shoved MJF into Wardlow. MJF punches him right in the face with the ring on. And Jungle Boy pulls MJF out of the ring. Kick to the head. Then another. Jungle Boy with a swinging DDT from the outside to the inside. Lucha gets a choke slam. Wardlow shoots up like Taker and then eats a huge fucking kick and then a standing moonsault. 1, 2, 3. What a match this was. This was an 8.5. Now, watching Luchasaurus could be sometimes a mixed bag, but if you think about it, the guy's is incredibly athletic for his size. To be almost 7 feet tall and to be almost 280 pounds. And he looked fucking nimble. He looked nimble. Like the way a cruiser, anybody that's a cruiserweight division that's under 205 pounds that look like that, wrestled like that, and he fucking moves up in that ring. There was no mistakes. And Wardlow looked like a beast here. This was an opener if there ever was one. You got the feeling that they could have done more, but this was not a pay-per-view event. This was a televised one. But what an amazing job. MJF is a fucking genius. 8.5 out of 10. All four. Bravo, guys. Oh my God, what a match that was. And so we get a commercial for AEW Puppy Battle Royal. And I think what is a Puppy Battle Royal next week? Actually, what this is all about is probably for adoption. Puppies that are up for adoption. Kind of like the Puppy Bowl during Super Bowl weekend. That's cute. That's cute and adorable. Archer is punking out people in the crowd, and he's trying to punk out and beat up Joey Janela. And here comes Sonny Kiss trying to hold back Janela, and they're trying to remove his shirt, trying to get it off. He's all pissed off, and Joey Janela struggling to get that shirt off. So apparently they might have a match. So, okay. So that's teasing something going on between Joey Janela and Lance Archer. So that's going to be interesting what's going to happen next week. Or is it going to be the week after during Fight for the Fallen? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, match number 2. AEW Women's World Championship. Penelope Ford against Hikaru Shida, the champion. And Shida shoved Kip before the match started, and Aubrey is there to eject Kip Sabian. And that was quick. Hikaru Shida took with a knee to the face immediately. She tried to go for a Falcon Arrow, tried to get a quick finish, but she escaped. Shida run with a knee. Penelope dropped back, then hits a roll-up. Nope. And boy, they were already starting off quick already in this matchup. So they're off to a fast fucking start. And I liked how Hikaru Shida tried to go for a fast win, but it didn't work out. They tried to make a match out of this, especially how her and Penelope Ford are actually trying to make this out of a good rivalry. And you know, when I saw Dynamite last week, she had a quick squash match that lasted about 10-15 seconds. And then as soon as Hikaru Shida, because Penelope Ford tried to fuck with her, and then when she was entering the ring, so as soon as she went into the ring, and then she got in the bell rung, and then she started her match with Red Velvet. She beat her. She gave her a knee really fast. She kicked her, and then she gave her a Falcon Arrow, and that was it. 15 seconds, that was it. And as soon as she was done, she went straight back to ringside and started fucking punching Penelope Ford in the face. And then that started a big old fucking thing. Now, I gotta be honest with you. The excitement factor in that went up. For some reason, I like that shit. I like to see some post-curricular activity after a fucking match. For some reason. That's just my go-to, because it brings an element of surprise yet excitement factor, in my opinion. But anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked. Let's talk about Penelope Ford and Hikaru Shida. I enjoyed the match. It was very good. I think when Hikaru Shida fought Nyla Rose, and at Double or Nothing about a month and a half ago, in my opinion, it was a good fight. Wrestling match, there was some elements of wrestling there, and I saw it with Nyla Rose and with Hikaru Shida. As far as wrestling goes, it was Hikaru Shida and Penelope Ford. Looking at how things are, I could say that this was Penelope Ford's best match. She's getting better and better. I knew hanging out with Kip Sabian would end up paying off. So anyway, I'm gonna go fast forward, because I'm telling you, the match was great. A little bit towards the end of the match, Ford ended up leaving the ring, so she tried to grab the title when she got frustrated. Here comes Kip Sabian to attack Hikaru Shida. So then he tried to attack with a kendo stick, but then Shida kicks him. He pops up the kendo stick and boom, started getting her right in the fucking face. So Shida fought back and fucking hit her. So Shida smacked him one more time with the kendo stick. And here comes Penelope Ford back in with a stunner. And I thought she was going to get pinned right there, but it was a crazy near fall. Ford dragged Shida towards the corner. Penelope then went to the top rope, back facing. She goes for the moonsault, but Shida ended up moving out of the way. Shida then ended up with a running knee to the back of the head. Gets another. Then both of them from Shida, and then she hits her with the Falcon Arrow. 1, 2, no! I was dumbfounded. I'm like, she kicked out of a Falcon Arrow? What the fuck? So then what happened? She knocked Penelope Ford down again with another running knee, and then she attacked. She stacked Ford up with another running knee, and then boom, she ended up pinning her there. 1, 2, 3. 8 out of 10. This was Penelope Ford's best match to date, in my opinion. And this shows how capable Hikaru Shida actually is. And I knew she has skills. I knew Riho had skills, for the light stature that she has. I knew Nyla Rose would be good. She She's definitely a great brawler. She has a few wrestling assets of her own that actually is beneficial, and she can maneuver. So it's actually crazy. This is definitely the best Penelope Ford match I've seen. I mean, I think that we don't see much of her, too much, but I think, in my opinion, I think she should be showcased a little more. And yeah, I mean, this was definitely a good way. So 8 out of 10. Kudos to both ladies, Hikaru Shida and Penelope Ford. I think we're gonna see what's gonna happen for her title run for Shida. I have a feeling she's gonna end up fighting either Britt Baker, probably before All Out, or something like that. That's probably gonna have a build-up. So it's gonna be interesting to see where this goes on from here. So we got a video package of Taz analyzing Moxley's finisher. Especially the fact that, he wouldn't get up a double underhook on Cage because Cage has big triceps and all that shit. And his fucking traps are all huge. So he wouldn't even pull the fucking maneuver off. That's just very interesting. Okay. So Fyter Fest is off to a good start. So what is match number 3? Well, that'll be for the TNT Championship. Jake Hager with his wife, and I forgot her name. What is her name? I might have to look that up. So Jake Hager takes on Cody Rhodes and his coach, which is Arn Anderson, former Four Horsemen. Let's see. The way this match started, I thought it was good. It went like a bit of amateur wrestling there. I like the way they hyped up Jake Hager there as a former Bellator fighter, formerly undefeated. He got disqualified. He got a loss once when he got disqualified for like an illegal knee maneuver. I don't know what the fuck, but anyway, I didn't see the fight. But bottom line, they went with a bit of amateur wrestling, and then locking up fingers, went behind Cody for an elbow from Hager, and then they did some rope work. Cody hit a right hand to the face, slapped him right there. And Jake Hager, catched a kick and then shoved Cody down, and he gave him a headlock from Cody, and Jake locked the hips, but then Cody clinched the hold and dropped Hager down. They went to the amateur route right here for the ring wrestling. So they went really good. And Cody hit one of his own slaps right in the face, and then Hager sends him back to the ropes, hits a few right hands. Cody then leapfrogs him and tries to roll up for a 1 count. Not a 2 count, a 1 count. There was a point in teasing where Jake Hager was overpowering. The match, I feel, had a bit of discrepancies. I think there was some good amount of maneuvers here. There was a bit of taunting going on by Jake Hager, trying to taunt Arn Anderson out. Cody gets pissed off and then runs into a corner and then dives up like a spider monkey onto Hager. Cody got a crossbody into the ring. Hager ended up catching him. Cody dropped the drop toe hold, gets a leg lock from Cody, then gets a figure 4. Cody ended up breaking it and then ended up to the top of the rope, and then he dives. Hager catches and slams Cody down. That was nice maneuver actually right there during that part of the match. He slammed him down into the corner. I mean, I like that. That was good. And Hager then switched up with a German suplex. That was a good one too. I liked how he pulled that one off, if you pardon the pun on that one. Hager then went off to his wife. Cody then hits a chop, and then another, and then attacks his head. Then it gets a clothesline to Cody. Hager rolls into the ring, breaks the count, and then they get back out and then into the ring. Hager then lifts Cody and hits a body slam. I've seen this feels like a traditional matchup. One of the key elements in the match Um, Cody was down inside the ring. Jake Hager tried to tease down and stare down Arn Anderson. Then he actually grabbed Arn Anderson and then he fucking pushed him down. And then he knocked down Cody. So then Cody and Jake Hager go back into the ring. Cody runs up the corner and then stands on the top rope, dives off with a diamond cutter-like maneuver. So it looked good. Cody had a pump kick, then gave him a right hand, and then he dropped down. Gives a right to the face, then Cody whips into the corner and reversed. Cody hops up, runs away with a scoop slam, near fall. Hager's in the corner with a Hager bomb, then he gets a near fall. It's funny how the finishers don't mean dick in this match, so that's really weird. But belly to belly off the top rope, then covers for a near fall again. And then Hager gets the ankle lock. Vala Kurt Angle-like. And Cody reaches for the ropes, and then he manages to get there. Referee holds Hager back. Then Catalina ended up slapping Cody, which is his wife. Apparently that's her name, I think. So Cody gets slapped by Jake Hager's fucking woman. And then Hager looks to hold up again, and then Arn Anderson tried to distract. Hey, it's only fair. And then here comes Dustin Rhodes. Dustin runs down the ramp. Hager then punches him off. And that was a bit of a distraction. Hager gets hit. Hager gets a triangle. Then Cody floats over and then pin. Cody knocks out, Cody got knocked out, but he got the pin somehow. It was a weird looking finish. It was a bit unorthodox. I didn't think they would take it to that level. Good match. A 7 out of 10. It looked very good. Looked like a loose cannon. Jericho was trying to defend him. But once he got pissed off the referee, and he knocked out the referee. Then he realized, oh, fuck. And it's just one thing that AEW does well. It's giving the characters consistency that you could hold on to. Match-wise, it was good. A 7 out of 10. Hager then celebrates like he won until the announcer said he lost. So once Hager got pissed, he fucking punched the ref. And here comes all these other referees and officials trying to split him apart from Dustin, Arn, and Cody. So Cody's all fucked up. That was interesting. Oh, by the way, just to give you a quick update, Jake Hager suspended by AEW. This is storyline suspension, however, so this is kayfabe, so to say. In wrestling terminology, it's kayfabe. So, he's not really suspended lifetime-wise, but kayfabe-wise, he's suspended. So there you go. That explains that. We receive a video package from Darby Allin showing off his skating shit, which is, I got to admit, that looks pretty sweet. So that's cool. So here comes Orange Cassidy. Gets a chair, sit next to Excalibur. And Jericho's talking shit on commentary. Cassidy is wearing the same shirt last week. That's just so Cassidy. Fucking bloody his goddamn ear. Match number 4 in the Fyter Fest Night 1. Santana Ortiz versus Private Party. And Matt Hardy's actually coaching Private Party. So immediately they start fighting. And they send outside. So Private Party goes poetry in motion. Flies onto the heels. Santana Ortiz. They tag in Mark Quinn. And then he hits a standing moonsault. Gets a 1 count. Up the ropes for another moonsault. Here comes Isaiah Cassidy. Not Orange Cassidy. Isaiah Cassidy. Got 2 Cassidys. Actually, Orange Cassidy is C. Cassidy. Isaiah Cassidy is actually K. Cassidy. Very weird. But anyway, same pronunciation. Cassidy looked good. So did Mark Quinn. Ortiz and Santana, they looked aggressive. They showed that mean demeanor with saying I'm gonna fuck you guys up. It looked like a couple of homies down in fucking down. Look like a couple of homies down in Montebello. They'll fuck you up if you fuck with them. But anyway, so Ortiz rolls up with a submission on the ground. Looked like an octopus type submission. Ortiz with a chop, sending Cassidy down, grabs Cassidy and hits a suplex. There's been a lot of German suplexes in this match. It kind of got a little old. But Mark Quinn has this backflip that is superb. And he floats gracefully up in the air. Once he gets into that top rope, he just does a backwards shooting star press. And it's fucking fascinating how he pulls that off. He just floats. I don't know how the fuck he does that. But that is gifted athleticism. You can't teach that shit. And I can tell you can't teach that shit. I'm not saying that I'm a pro wrestler. And I'm not saying that I've been to a wrestling seminar. But one thing I know for sure is that that these guys, there's a certain way that you could do certain things. And if you have the potential and the ability to do it, you could actually do it. The way Cassidy moves out and then Mark Quinn, oh God, they're super fast inside that ring. Santana and Ortiz, they look like a bunch of aggressive guys that'll fuck you guys up. I mean, if you looked at previous AEW programming, you'll notice that they've knocked fools out with socks that have soap inside of them. Or tennis balls or some shit. It's like some prison shit. But anyway, a little bit towards the end of the match, Ortiz kicks Santana into the roll, which results in a cutter. A Liger bomb from Ortiz to Quinn. That was good. That was some wrestling right there. Santana then drives Quinn's face into the corner. Santana then hops up into the back of Ortiz onto Quinn. So he pushed him off. That was nice. Another move, and Ortiz then covers for a near fall. Cassidy stopped the pin. Santana then sends Cassidy to the outside. Santana then sends Cassidy into the barricade on the outside. So they started fighting and shit all over the place. Matt Hardy started to see that he got some bullshit going on, and he takes the sock with the soap in it. I presume it's either soap or baseballs. So he grabs that shit and stuff it in away from Santana. Santana got inside and rolled up for a near fall. And then a boot from Santana to Quinn, and then gets another kick. Santana to the top. They went street sweeper, but Quinn blinds Santana. Then gives him a sling blade to Ortiz. Quinn hops up to Santana. Hurricanrana. Release the gin and juice finishing maneuver that they got. And boom. 1, 2, 3. It was all over. Private Party looked good. There was a bit of a cluster. There was a bit of fuckery going on from the jump, but they recovered well. This was another 7 out of 10. I enjoyed this one. So while this was going on, Cassidy goes over to the announce table to do some dancing. Jericho gets all pissed off. He tosses some bubbly on Cassidy, and then tosses more on Orange Cassidy. So here comes Orange Cassidy getting pissed off. Then he kicks over his chair. Jericho flips out. He goes to attack Cassidy, but people are there to stop it. Cassidy just strolls away all nonchalantly and all listing lazily into the left. Where's that? Where'd they go? There they are. He's listing lazily to the left. Go left, left. Boy, this guy knows some maneuvers. Anyway, that was a Family Guy reference. That shit just fucking makes me laugh. That's Orange Cassidy for you. Just, lazy, but he moves when he wants to. That's just the way it is. I seen him wrestle in person. I'm telling you, this guy is fucking... He's being different. And, sometimes you do that shit. So anyway, after that matchup, we are informed that Cage and Moxley will take place in 2 weeks. Disappointing, I know. So Cage and Taz come out, and then the cat is out of the bag. Everybody knows that. I want to mention this real quick because this was a shit kicker. Everybody knows now what they found out about earlier today. Some may think that Taz and Cage are pissed. No, easy like Sunday morning. That's when Taz started cutting that promo. Taz had a talk with Khan, and he heard that Mox is concerned about the health of everyone. But correct Taz if he's wrong. He hasn't been tested twice, and both times it would be negative. And wouldn't they be tested here at AEW? Because, we don't run a sloppy shop. Ooh, 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 ooh. That was a diss on WWE, I could tell you. Some people at AEW got a little irritated hearing that because they said, what the fuck are you talking about? This ain't no fucking sloppy shop. What the fuck is the matter with you? And I'm pretty sure they're not referring to AEW, but I'm pretty sure that they're talking about WWE. By the way they're handling the COVID situation, that people are getting positive test results over there while they're being tested because they weren't doing enough over there. That pretty much tells me that was a shot at them. So July 15th, saying that Taz says that Mox is suffering from a case of the chicken shits, that he's afraid of Cage. Who better than Brian Cage to be AEW World Champion? All right, now I'll move on before I start finishing off to round off these reviews. AEW Tag Team title match between Kenny Omega and Adam Page, the champions, taking on Best Friends. And the way Trent and Chuck Taylor, they get dropped off in a fucking minivan, and Trent's mom says, hey, give your mom a kiss and good luck. Mwah. I've seen everything in pro wrestling. I've seen a lot of shit. From happy times, bad times. From crazy times to goofy times. Tragedies. Fucking chaos. Disorder. Comical shit. To outrageous shit. Offensive shit. I've seen everything. That's funny. That's fucking funny. So anyway, I'm going to briefly talk about the matchup because I want to say this. This match was great. I don't think this was match of the night. I thought Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus taking on how did I forget already? But anyway, when they took on Wardlow and MJF, I thought that was match of the night, in my opinion. This was a great match too. I liked how Page and Omega have these bit of clusterfuck of disagreements. So it's interesting to see what happens. Omega and Chuck Taylor start the match. They started fighting back and forth. Men of lower, they started fucking smirking at each other. So anyway, Trent and Page started fighting up once they got the tags in. Page tries another tag, and then he tries to finish off with a right hand on Trent. Trent hits his own, and then both men started going back and forth. They both drop each other out. Trent then gets a kick to the back, tags in Chuck Taylor, and here comes in some kicks, locks the head. Nice suplex and a cover near fall already. So we're already at that moment where they're already starting to get near falls on each other, and then once a moment when a tag to Omega came in from Page. Here comes Omega, and he knocks Chuck off the apron into a backbreaker, and then gets a pinfall. But it was a near fall. So a tag on back to Page. Omega and Page kick at Trent, double team him, and then they take corners, chopping him down. Omega with a famouser, then to the back of the neck, shooting star press from Page, which looked fan-fucking-tastic. And then while that was going on, here comes FTR. And they bring out some beach chairs, and then they watch the match right near the ring entrance. This could only get interesting. So Omega with some stomps in the corner. Omega sends Trent into the corner, tags in Page, tag from Page, and then goes on to the top rope and then drops an axe onto the back of Trent. And then you see Chuck Taylor's mom is in the crowd clapping. So Chuck sends Page to the outside, dives over the top rope with the flip, shakes the barricade. He attacks Page onto the barricade, but then Omega gets the kick, and he kicks the shit out of Chuck. That was a devastating kick. Trent then started getting tope onto Omega, tope suicida. And then he sends him onto the arms of Chuck, and then Chuck hits a belly-to-belly, sending Omega into Page. There was some excitement personified in this match. There has a lot of shit going on, especially with that, when Omega locked the head and then gave him a fisherman's carry, and then gets a near fall. So I liked it. Some running sentons here. That was really good. Now, a little bit towards the end of the match, Omega stopped the pin once Chuck Taylor hit the top rope and was going to pin Page. Omega stopped the pin. And then Omega and then Chuck Taylor started exchanging. They started fighting out. And then Chuck on his shoulders for a one-winged angel. Once he pulled that shit off, Chuck reverses and drops Omega on his head, which looked like a modified Falcon Arrow. But that looked painful. And while everyone was down, Chuck Taylor and Trent, gotta give the people what they want. That's slogan for them hugging each other. Once Page goes for a kick, Chuck sends Trent away. He eats the kick. Trent with a chop. Page sends him onto the ropes, a rolling elbow strike, and then again locks the head and goes for a power bomb. And then Trent ended up escaping and tried to roll him up, but nope, that didn't even register one fucking number. Trent then drops into pin. That didn't work. Page drops Trent on his head. 1, 2, nope. Page then removes his elbow pad, buckshot lariat to Trent, and that was it. Great main event, guys. Great main event. That was another 8 out of 10. I will say that Trent's mom being there, and then Chuck's mom, that's so funny. Oh, God, guys. Make sure you do your best. Oh, man, that's so funny. So, anyway, after the match, here comes FTR. Comes into the ring with some beers. They hand him over to Page and Omega. It appears Kenny isn't a fan of the beer he was given. He pours a beer out. FTR takes offense, and then they get a face into Omega. But out comes the Young Bucks to prevent any issues. And that's going to tease for next week. Because there's a 4-on-4 tag match next week that's going to be superb. So, what did I think of AEW Fyter Fest? Well, let's see here. You had 3 matches. Well, you basically had 3 matches that were 8s. That is enough to solidify that this was a clear winner. Although not by much. The only downside of Great American Bash was that they had the Rhea Ripley match that was 4 out of 10, and then they had the strap match between Dexter Lumis and Roderick Strong, which was a 5.5. That was a bit to be desired, but the rest of the match was super entertaining, and it was the entertainment factor pulled. So let's recap real quick about Fyter Fest, night number 1. Jurassic Express versus MJF and Wardlow. In my opinion, that was match of the night. And this nice little rivalry going on between MJF and Jungle Boy. And then, of course, pretty soon we're going to see Wardlow and Luchasaurus going on. You know, I think what's happening here, they're teasing some dissension between MJF and Wardlow. I don't know. But, you know, whichever way it goes, I'm looking forward to it because, you know, you never know what's going to come out of MJF's mouth. And you don't know what the hell they're going to be capable of. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, I give them lots of credit. You know, Jungle Boy is a master of maneuvering. You know, I give them lots of credit. So that was an 8.5 out of 10. That was clearly match of the night. The first match of the night. I usually trip out on shows that where if the first match of the night ended up being the best one, because sometimes in that case, not all the time you get to see. Not all the time if that the rest of the shows fails to deliver. But in this case, you know, I really enjoyed the rest of the show. The cold-blooded reminder was when Charlotte Flair fought Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania night number 2. That was the first match. And the rest of the show was questionable at best. So yeah, 8.5 match of the night, Jurassic Express and MJF and Wardlow. Match number 2, Women's Championship for AEW Women's Championship. Penelope Ford against Hikaru Shida. That was an 8 out of 10. This was Penelope Ford's best match to date. So I think that pretty much sums up her skills. It also sums up how good Hikaru Shida actually is. So she's been a fighting champion. So she's doing a hell of a job. So 8 out of 10 for that match. The TNT Championship match, well, that was a 7 out of 10. Jake Hager, Cody Rhodes. There was a bit of ground wrestling here. It might be a few desirable situations here, but you know, Jake Hager looked like the crazy motherfucker here. But I think Cody carried this match, and I really enjoyed it. There was some teasing going on between some interference between his wife, Jake Hager's wife, and then Arn Anderson trying to retaliate against Jake Hager. So you know there was some shit going on, and with that, and that was a crazy finish too. So, but 7 out of 10. Santana and Ortiz versus Private Party. I like that one too. However, I think it could have been better, showing how good Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy is. Showing how good they actually are. That's a 7 out of 10 also as well. So I give them credit to where credit is due. You know, I like that. I like both their matches. That promo that Taz cut. Wow, I gotta say, we don't run a sloppy shop. That was a big time diss. I'm gonna diss someone out right now. So, but let me just finish up my explanation. AEW Tag Team Championship match: Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus the Best Friends Chuck Taylor and Trent. Great main event, 8 out of 10. I liked it. Both Adam Page could carry out that sick ass lariat. Kenny Omega is fast in that ring. Best Friends continues to be a fan favorite, and I think they're already over by this point. So 8 out of 10. Them, Page and Omega, teasing a little rivalry between them and FTR soon, hopefully, because I think that'd be a great match. But in the meantime, FTR is tagging with the Young Bucks, and they're gonna fight against Lucha Brothers and Butcher and Blade. So that's gonna be very interesting in night number 2. So I'm gonna give this show an 8 out of 10. Slightly better than Great American Bash Night 1. Fyter Fest Night 1 was the winner, but not by much. I just think the wrestling quality was good. And don't get me wrong, Great American Bash did a hell of a job. So, 8 out of 10. Good show. And you know, I'm looking forward to next week. And I'm looking forward to see what's going on with as they continue the Great American Bash at NXT side, and then they continue the Fyter Fest section of AEW side. So it's going to be a lot of fun reviewing these shows. So that's my review. Night number 1 of Great American Bash and Fyter Fest. I hope you guys will take a look into that. I give it a solid thumbs up for all around. And check them out. Check them out on replay or on demand on TNT on demand for AEW Fyter Fest. And if you have the WWE Network, rewatch it on replay. And check out the NXT Great American Bash. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Okay, now it's time to change subject. You know, I sometimes always end a podcast episode with a rant. So here it is. It's not wrestling related, although there's going to be some elements that are wrestling related. It's about the coronavirus pandemic. And no, I know the first couple of episodes that I actually produced, I've mentioned some shit about the coronavirus, and I criticized the politicians, whether they're Republican or they're Democrat. It don't matter. Whether they're Republican or Democrat, either way you look at it, I criticized them every single way. Because what they've done is fucked up a lot of whole things. The country was beginning to reopen. But some people just refuse to fuck off and fucking not wear a mask. Now, I'm going to go on and I'm going to rip apart the fucking Republicans. Now, look. Why does it bother you? Because I'm going to look at this. 2 days ago, and I'm looking at statistics as we speak. 2 days ago, we had a spike in California and in Texas and Florida, top 3 fucking states in the United States that have the most coronavirus cases. Now, 2 days ago, the country had 51,100 new coronavirus cases. Yesterday, we had 57,232 cases. New cases in a day. Right now, as we speak, it is July 3rd. Probably by tomorrow, during the 4th of July holiday, I might be able to produce this. However, right now it's at 36,358, which is bound to be more pretty soon. We're probably going to head towards 60,000. Now, with all the Republicans, well, of course, you know something that's going on, because all the people that are protesting out the street, or the reason why the coronavirus case have gone up. No, they were wearing fucking masks, you idiot. Now, in your part, you fucking nimrods, you think that wearing a mask is against your First Amendment right. Fuck you. Fuck all of you, and fuck anyone that looks like you. I refuse to wear a mask because it's my right. And I'm gonna go in there, and I'm gonna spread my germ, and I'm gonna piss on your merchandise. Fuck you. Fuck all you, and fuck anyone that looks like you. Because you're a piece of shit. You're a scumbag. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I've seen people, a vast majority of them, thankfully, wearing masks. And now the government is scaling back on opening the country back up because apparently some people refuse to wear fucking masks. Are you fucking stupid? Are you fucking idiots? Are you disgruntled so badly that you refuse to wear a fucking piece of cloth on your fucking mouth? Oh, I can't breathe. Yes, look, I'm going to tell you this. I have cloth masks, and they're triple layered, and they're good masks. I ordered them online at Amazon. Don't worry, they were clean. They were pristine. A 5-pack. I bought that shit. They're the cleanest fucking masks I ever wore, and they're most comfortable, too. You could breathe easily, and they're easy to put on. Why quit the bitching, motherfuckers? It's all these Trump supporters. Trump is the stupidest piece of shit I ever seen in my life. And God forbid, I hope I don't bump into that motherfucker. Whether he's the president or the former president or just a con man, business fraud motherfucker. I just hope I don't bump into him. Because if I ever do, I'm going to fucking get a pipe and I'm going to crack his fucking skull. But since the guy that I am, I'm just going to stay away, bow out, and I'm going to walk away. Because that's the most sensible thing you could do. Because if I get anywhere near that motherfucker, I would cave his skull in. But I'm not going to do that. So that's why I'm going to stay away. I'm just going to bow out, and I'm not going to fucking confront that motherfucker. Let someone else fucking deal with his shit. Because let's be honest. If that motherfucker loses this election, you know what's going to end up happening? He's going to go straight, he's going to take it up the fucking ass in a prison cell. Which is rightfully where he fucking deserves. Him, his fucking disgruntled jackass son, and his fucking anorexic melanoma wife of hers. So what the fuck? Fuck him. And his idiotic daughter. And then the rest of his fucking criminal ass, dumbass family. Ivanka. What a feckless cunt. You know, and let me tell you this right now. I have some friends and I have some people that I know. And I've seen people that I'm fans of. Wrestlers or athletes or anybody in general that have been, that have been Trump supporters. But you know what I say? If I like you and you happen to be a Trump supporter, do me a fucking favor. And if you are a Trump supporter and you support Trump and you're a friendly guy, just do me a favor. Do like what you do when you watch nasty porn. Keep it to yourself in private and shut the fuck up about it. Because if you expose yourself to the point that you support that motherfucker, then what's gonna basically happen is you got a fucking target on your back. That's what's gonna happen. Because he's the fucking reason why this country has a bad reputation now. Fucking idiots. Him, Mitch McConnell, and the rest of his fucking cronies. No, let me tell you this right now. Just because I shit on the Republicans, the Democrats get shit too. And I'm going to tell you why. The Democrats are overly sensitive about bullshit. We're opening the fucking country. If you open the country, mandate the fucking face masks. If you do that shit, trust me, I bet you the cases will start dropping pretty fucking quick. And another thing too, the fact that we had to open up and then close down right away just when everything was starting to get good. Why the fuck would you want to open to begin with in the first place if you know it wasn't fucking safe? You made those fucking jerk-off degenerate pieces of shit in Huntington Beach fucking scare you like that and say, we want the country open. Well, yeah, you got the fucking country open. And look what happened. You spread that fucking shit all over the face to a point where I have a friend of mine who has a co-worker fucking just found out that he tested positive for coronavirus. And now he has to stay in isolation, and not in isolation, but now he has to stay in quarantine in his house for 14 fucking days. The only good thing I can say about his situation is that he is recovering. Now, on the other hand, I have another friend whose mother about a month ago had coronavirus. Now, this is the tragic part. She was 61 years old. And sadly, she's no longer with us. Her situation got worse. Her lungs started to collapse. And sadly, she passed away on June 8th. So, this shit is real. You have to fucking wear a fucking mask. I ain't gonna wear a fucking mask because it's my constitutional right. Fuck you. I hope you fucking bury yourself all the way to your forehead like a carrot. And then this is why I say shit. You know, I'm gonna say this right now. Sammy Guevara got a lot of heat for saying, about Sasha Banks, where he started saying, oh man, I would rape her. That shit was caught on fucking podcast from 4 years ago. Okay, that was a bit unethical. And it was to the wrong person too, because I think Sasha Banks is cool. I think Sammy Guevara is cool. But you know what? Him saying that shit, that was just stupid. I'm just happy that he apologized for it. And then, you know, he talked to Sasha Banks and she said all is forgiven. I'm glad. You know what? After that, just move on. Enjoy your suspension, take some classes, and think it over. But in this case, these people that don't wear masks, are fucking stupid. And yes, I do hope something happens to them. Yeah, because they fucking deserve it. And I'm not saying I'm going to be celebrating and throwing a party about it because, oh, well, these guys are going to die because they're going to get coronavirus. No. I'm not happy about it, but I ain't broke up about it either. They fucking deserve it because they're stupid, they're ignorant, they're gullible, they're degenerative, and they're bringing this country down and putting themselves in the position that it's in right now. Case in point, Austin Aries. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. I have never, ever dissed a wrestler because I think, and this is going to probably be my first time, but I'm going to tell you this. Austin Aries, he's super talented. He's a former TNA heavyweight champion. He's a former Impact World Heavyweight champion. And yes, he's got incredible skills. He could wrestle in that ring. Kudos and respect to him for that sense. But on the other side of the spectrum, he has a bad fucking attitude. He had a bad attitude at first with Dixie Carter and started doing some stupid shit with her. But then again, Dixie Carter's stupid. She's like the Sarah Palin of professional wrestling. Oh, see, it ain't so there, Joe. There you go again. I do it myself, don't you know? Fucking idiot. Anyway, no. He had an attitude issue. Then he gets kicked out of TNA wrestling. Then he goes into WWE and joins the Cruiserweight division. He hits a bad attitude there. Then he walks out on WWE, and then he goes back to Impact Wrestling. And then he does his unprofessional shit at 2018 Bound for Glory, where he fights John Hennigan or Johnny Mundo for the TNA, the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Johnny Mundo beats him, pins him 1, 2, 3, and as soon as he got pinned, he just gets up and fucking walks away. That's the most unprofessional shit I ever seen. Of course, nobody wants to fucking hire this douche. And now he's talking shit about wearing a mask. Well, fuck you, Austin Aries. You fucking turnip-eating little twerp. You think I'm gonna fucking respect you for your fucking political views? Shut the fuck up about it. You just got a big fucking mouth. So why the fuck should I respect you? Yes, you are a talented professional wrestler. Yes, you are a great talent, and you were a great champion. But you're a piss poor attitude right there. It's fucking disgruntled and idiotic, and you talk too much stupid shit. I got an idea for you. Stop that shit. Shut the fuck up about it. Where is he from? Milwaukee, Wisconsin? Smell that dairy air. Anyway, now that I discussed that shit, we're going to talk next week, night number 2, Great American Bash, and Fyter Fest, night number 2. And we'll see how that goes. They look like promising cards to me, if you ask me. So I'll review those shows. But in the meantime, it's time to sign off. Till next week, this is Eric Peralta, a.k.a. the Wrestling Enthusiast, reminding you to wash your ass. Bye-bye, everybody.